My name is Maria Roberts. My story is a little weird, I'm gonna be honest. So my mom had me at 16. So I was basically raised by a child. So I tried giving her the benefit of a doubt with certain things, because there were a lot of things that I didn't really receive. I was more of, I like to put it as like I was raised with my parents instead of raised by my parents. Like I grew up with them while they were growing up, if that puts it into perspective at all. So my parents were believers, but my mom rebelled because her mother and her grandmother were very strict religion. So long hair, jeans, like they weren't allowed to do what most women are now these days. So she rebelled and met my dad. She was 16, he was like 25, which I know now that's a little weird, but back then that was kind of normal. So my dad has been a very huge role model in my life because he was older, but my mom cheated on him and all the, so she went into the whole drug scene and I kind of followed her a little bit. So I did drugs with my mom, smoked with her, drank with her, all that type of stuff. And one day I finally decided, I was like, I can't live this life anymore. And I had always been a believer, but it was kind of more, I started walking in the path for myself instead of for my father, because my dad was like very strict with that. He allowed us to have our own little space because he wanted us to be able to, he didn't make me get baptized whenever I was younger or anything like that, but like my great-grandfather was a Baptist preacher for 50 years here in Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas area. So I actually had just been in a really like abusive relationship and I was feeling really low. So he broke up with me Friday morning, and Friday night I went to the gym and she asked me if I wanted to go to Calvary to try it out, and I said, yeah, sure. And then I actually walked in. The second I walked into the sanctuary, I was just crying. I literally cried the whole time, almost throughout the service, because just the emotions of, I could feel the Holy Spirit the second I walked in. And I actually got baptized that day. A lot of churches, you can tell people are being fake. And here I can feel that everybody is like, this is who they are. They're not doing this just because they're inside of a church. I've gone to Pastor Phyllis's and their house multiple times for girl talk, and you can tell that that's just who they are, which I love. Like, I just feel like a lot of churches, you can tell that they're trying to like put on a show, and it's not a show here. This is who people are really. I had one of those moments where I really wanted to start smoking again because I smoked the vapes, which in my opinion, vape is worse than cigarettes because you can hit it anywhere and everywhere. So I was just sitting there and I was like, I can't do this, I need you. And I remember falling to my knees and I literally felt him pick me up and tell me, you can do this. Like, you don't need that anymore. Honestly, I know it sounds like really weird, but like, it was like oxygen just meant so much more to me at that moment. Because it went from like me like inhaling something so many times that like I could actually breathe. Like I could take a deep breath and enjoy the oxygen, and I just kept reminding myself like, God created this for us. And within the next 2 weeks, I was sober from about everything. I didn't drink or smoke or anything like that, which usually you have like all the withdrawals and everything, but I feel like I didn't experience that as much because I asked for Jesus to help me heal from that. Being somebody who came from being an addictive quality and everything, like the peace is amazing. So I always like to tell people, because sometimes I'll have my old friends message me and say like, I miss the old Maria. Well, the old Maria wasn't Maria. That was not who I was supposed to be. I was always supposed to be who I am now.